Hi everyone. Um, Today I just want to quickly go through one of the things I just came across, which might be very interesting to some viewers about these former ministers that took um, Atiku and as well as Tinubu over voting by. I think the person that actually took them is former minister, which I believe is his name is Wine Duaba. It's just asking the court that if the court can disqualify uh, both Atiku as well as Tinubu. And what happened is that there was a suit that's asking the court just to disqualify the presidential candidates of People's Democratic Party, which is Atiku Abubakar, for violating the electoral act. And that's the former minister is just asking the minister, which is the one of the former minister of the state of educations. They're filing a lawsuit in Abuja. That's the Federal High Court to challenge Bola Tinubu selections as the All Progressive Congress as a presidential candidate. And the lawsuit said that this asking the court just to disqualify the presidential candidates of People Democratic Party as the Atiku for violating the electoral act. Yeah, we know articles. There was issues that relating to money bags during the selection process, and you can also see the problems that they're having currently. That some members have been monies have been transferred into their accounts, and some of them, three of them, have refunded that money back. So you can see that there's a kind of what can I just say? There kind of there's a kind of what I just a kind of the word I'm just looking for. The kind of non-transparent processes, even for the selection of Atiku himself as well. So, and this lawsuit that is filed by Unwa Joebe, which is the, as I said, which is the former minister. It's just something that relating to result of widespread voting buying and corruptions, and the allegation that majority of the delegates were being bought over with cash. And they also said as part of the exhibition files with the lawsuits, is a videos of Rotimi Amishi, a former transport minister, alleging that the delegations at the APC primarily held in June sold their votes. I mean, you can see that these are the kind of people that Nigerians want to vote for. I mean, if there is money buying issues at this particular situations, what do you expect them to do when they come into the presidential villas? So, and also there's a questions with the plaintiff that asks questions about Tinubu educational backgrounds and source of his wealth. And what it says that they urge the court to declare that the third defendants, Tinubu, who had previously sworn as an affidavit with INEC nominations form declaring that he has lost his primary and secondary school documents. I mean, how on earth that there cannot be any record of with I mean the educational minister or whatever need how record of each individuals are kept somewhere in I mean they should have had a kind of record that kept, I mean, people that have graduated, there should be a record for that. Don't tell me Nigeria hasn't got a record for people that's been graduated during the period of Tinubu, and they cannot show to the public what kind of degree or college education he had. I mean, when he passed from the primaries and secondary school, some must have a record of that. I mean, you want to tell me that Tinubu hasn't got a secondary record? There must be some kind of record he will have kept. So, I mean, this is currently going on at this moment. And, I mean, and they said they lost his primary and secondary school document, and it benefited therefrom, and cannot in any affidavit denies and abandons some fact, dispose on the previous affidavits, and therefore forcefully contradicting his academic qualifications. The copies of affidavits Tinubu signed while running for the governors of Lagos State on the platform of Alliance for Democratic, which is the AD, was supplied by the plaintiffs. That the entire circumstances surrounding these two dispositions of the third defendants point to the fact they are false and misleading and cannot be relied upon. So what they are saying is that what is submitted as when he was being running as a governor is not an authentic document. I mean, the question we have to accept is that, yeah, Tinubu has done very well in Lagos and based on the past record. But I mean, one of the things I always ask myself is that even though Tinubu have done very well, I mean, you can't just allow someone that tell you that they passed through primary school, secondary school, and they can't produce a very reliable, certificate that justify that, okay, for them to be in a realms of power. I mean, Nigerians should start selecting people not on a semi educations where you just pass through your secondary school because you have an experience, you have knowledge, because you can do this thing. Yeah, definitely you can still perform, but we need some kind of higher degree. I mean, someone that has passed through not only secondary school but higher educations. I mean, I've never even seen in United States. I mean, in UK, all their members of their parliaments, go and check some of these guys out. A lot of them have first class. A lot of them has at least a degree. I mean, it's just a matter of fact. So, I mean, I don't. I mean, this is something this is something that Nigeria need to look into. And they say the possession of high degree does not constitute the minimum requirements for law. And that's what we said, that if you don't have, it doesn't constitute, and where the minimum academic is manifestly absent by any form of fact. And this possession of higher education as short first degree or master disease is a predicament on the minimum educational qualifications as provided by the constitutions. And then next, and among us, it is a plaintiff play the court to determine whether APC is exempted for complying with sections 90, subsection 3 of the Electoral Act 2020. Have presented to the third defense as Tinubu as a presidential candidate of the sixth defense INEC, and 6 defendants accepted and published the same, being the same person, which is being the same persons whose source of 100 million contributions fee for nominees, forms, and expression of interest were not verified. That's one of the questions I ask myself. Someone is paying 100 millions for presidential forms. I mean, INEC should have considered where the source of all these monies are coming from. I mean, INEC should have also have a kind of platform to check people's wealth. Every individual candidate must have their source of wealth. I mean, we don't care whether they've as long as their wealth are genuine, because these are people that are coming into the public, they are coming into the public arenas, and you want to build trust, confidence, and people can rely at least on whatever thing they are doing. They are not coming into the company, into the government profile for their own benefit. They are coming to serve. They are coming to. They're just there just to make sure that people's public service are betterly and effectively used to the best of people's, because people's taxes relies on that. You don't want someone to come into the company, into the government by one way or the other in a very connive way, and eventually does not come in and provide the service that people have voted for. So that's one of the things INEC should look into. This aspect of qualifications. I mean, I just think that Nigerians should have at least not secondary school certificate at these levels of stage in life. They should have in kind of, I mean, postgraduates or BSc or masters. I mean, these are kind of, we need high knowledgeable people in the government posts. We don't just need someone that just passed through primary school. You've gone through some trading, you've gone through some. But the only problem is a lot of these guys doesn't have is because they haven't got into the systems of educations. Yeah, education doesn't want you to make you rich, but sometimes you need people that's gone into the educational careers. They know when it comes to how to manage government funds. They know have an ideas how to build international relationship. We need kind of people like this. Don't just need people that just come in and say because they can't produce their certificate because one or two things have lost in one way or the other. There should be some kind of educational record that backs people up. Even if the person hasn't got that certificate, the ones have gone somewhere. So yeah, so I just think that INEC need to look into this, and and they also want to determine which is also they also want to look at Atiku as well, and they are just considering there is a element of way of corruption. Especially there has been a corruption against Atiku according to that US dollars, which has been a foreign currency and not legal tender in Nigeria under the CBN Act. And guys, I just wanted to ask you, what is your takes on this about this lawsuit that brought by former minister of Minister of State of Educations. I mean, what do you think? Do you think you can trust Atiku? Do you think you can trust Tinubu? I mean, if I just wanted to make comments and say yes, or share your own opinion. That's what I can say. If you have something to say, you just write it down. And I'm gonna just leave it now, and you can help me subscribe. I mean, share your own views, and I will look forward to speak to you when I have time tomorrow. And tomorrow, I just want to bring into you potential profitable investment that you can do in Nigerians in 2020 before the end of this year. Yeah. Thank you. Love you, Lord. You take it back.